Okay, it's 6 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Beckler? Here. Mr. Murray? Here. Mr. Miller? Here. Mr. Smith? Here. Mrs. Keeper?
Here, at this time, we'll do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, is there any board members who desire to add, delete, or separate any items of the consent agenda as proposed? No? All right. This time, I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented for the regular board meeting on May 16th, 2022.
Support.
Roll call.
Beckler? Yes. Mr. Murray? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith? Yes. Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. This time I need a motion to approve the minutes of the special board meeting held on April 13th of 2022 and the regular board meeting held on April 18th of 2022.
So moved. Support.
Roll call.
Mr. Beckler? Yes. Mr. Murray? Yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith? Yes. Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. At this time, is there any board members with correspondence? Mr. Carroll? Mr. Samoa?
Yes, I received notice of resignation for Miranda Kelly for the end of the school year, as well as Jillian Bergenreiter.
Thank you. And we will continue recognizing our guests and visitors.
A number of guests with us. Thank you for being here. Please just introduce yourself.
Dr. Dolores Whiteford, Assistant Superintendent.
Brady Roofer, Middle School Principal. Ian Burks, High School Principal.
Christy Smithly, Special Education Director. Jane Durham, Elementary Principal. Zone 1.
Harold White, high school student. Henry Schluter, high school student. Ted Monroe.
Nicole Wilson. Jenny Fenren. Lisa
Jerry Stern.
Stern.
Caleb Atkins. Henry Sheets. Julian Bentley, high school.
Thank you. At this time, we do have Mr. Stern with MVP, who would like to address us.
So we are, my name is Jerry Stern, I live here on County Road 6, my wife Lisa Stern. We've been working with the MVP for about 4 or 5 years now. And we had the idea of expanding to the middle school. Bring some of those ideas and things that we do at the middle school or at the elementary school up to the middle school. We have our oldest will be a 5th grader next year, so she'll be moving over soon. And we have gonna be a 2nd grade son. Or 3rd, yeah. And we just want to come and let you know that. Wasn't sure if it was a matter of approval or just letting you know that was our intention. The idea is to expand the elementary program, not necessarily start a second one, but to expand what we do at the elementary level. This next year, maybe we're all focused on building some funds towards the program. And, some of the things we do at the elementary level, we have some things for movie nights, and there's some other things we do. We do some things for Teacher Appreciation Week. And those are just things that, we're both teachers as well. We just know that those kinds of things that parents reach out and do that, they appreciate it. Guys, any questions about it or?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
And at this point, have you talked to them at all?
I have not.
Okay. If you want to touch base with Mr. Roofer for now,
Sure.
coming into next year, and then new principal get, let him know and get you guys contact information for him and everything when it comes out, but I think it's a great idea.
Any help and support we can get is always appreciated. I have the mascot. So.
So thank you very much. Mr. Carroll, would you like to continue on with the financial reports?
Thank you.
Quite a few documents in this packet tonight. First page is the cash reconciliation, showing that for the month of April, our books are balanced. We'll then see the financial summary. This is how we are appropriated so far. We have our disbursement summary. These are the checks that we issued throughout the month of April. Next one is our cash summary. This is the encumbrances and fund balances and all of the funds that we have here at Evergreen. First graph you see is our general fund graph. That is how we are in comparison with the 5-year forecast right now. Currently, at the end of April, we are 83% of the way through this fiscal year. See, our cash balance is directly in line with last year, just following that same trend. On the back of that, payroll and benefits are broken down, again, comparing last year and where we are with the forecast. Right in line. Final graph you see is the income tax collections. This is the last payment we received in April was for the first quarter of this year. It is a last one of the fiscal year, but that puts us down 3.5% compared to last year. So our income tax collections, we are down over what we received last year, and hoping that continues to change as people are getting back to work. Area schools around us are up, but we are down 3.5%. So the other thing I have here is our 5-year forecast. This is an update from November, so some minor changes. I won't go line by line, but one thing I do want to kind of hit on here is the very first blue line that you see on this forecast. That is our total revenue. And if you look at 2019 to where I think we are going to end this year, that is a span of 4 years with an increase in revenue of 1% to the general fund. So that is not a lot of increase. In 4 years, I kind of like to compare this to our personal budgets that we have at our homes. Most likely, we've seen a 1% increase at home. Maybe we haven't, but comparing where we are in our world right now, a 1% increase. But the expenses that we have in our personal lives, fuel, electric, food, all those items are increasing significantly. So when I'm putting budgets together with our departments, I'm being told, just for example, brake pads are up 25%. Fuel, we all know, is skyrocketing, and those are affecting us just as much as affect us personally as well. So a couple items on the forecast that you'll notice. We do have income tax levies that are up for renewal. Those are pulled out, and they are down at the bottom of this forecast. So legally, we have to put those, we have to pull those out. If they're up for renewal, we cannot count on that. We are, as you will see this year, we are in a deficit spending. So we are spending more money this year than we brought in. Go over any questions you have on the forecast.
Any thoughts on why our income tax is down and everyone else's is up on a percentage basis?
I don't know. I mean, it's almost as simple as the more people working, the more people that are paying income tax. So generally speaking, I would say the people that would pay our income tax are not working as much.
Prices going up for everything. Any idea? I know the state sets what the reimbursement is for lunches from our lower income families. Have you ever gotten any indication that they would bump that up with the rising cost of foods at all?
We did see a slight increase over the past couple months, very, very small increase. But that program that is that we are getting reimbursed for student lunches, as I know right now, will be done at the end of this school year.
They haven't given any indication if they're going to bump it more. The cost of foods is going to go up for us.
I have not heard any.
Okay, thank you.
Couple other items under the financial consent agenda. We do have a couple bond payments coming up. So that money needs to be paid by June 1st. So your permission to pay those payments. You'll see an increase for food service on here. And that is when we started with Hopper this year. Beginning of the year as a new program, I was unsure of how much this would cost and what the financials would look like. So I was pretty conservative. Food service is financially doing very well right now. And as the revenue is increasing, then so are the expenditures. So revenue, if you actually go back to this cash summary, you'll see for the general or for the 006 fund, they have brought in almost $600,000 and have spent about $548,000. So they are doing well, but in order to pay those expenses, then I need to increase the budget by that $90,000.
Any further questions for Mr. Carroll? All right, we'll jump right into the agenda. We're going to start with the financial section of the agenda. As recommended to approve the following financial items that we just reviewed with Mr. Carroll. To accept the following donations, $100 in annual donation to the Student Assistance Fund, $3,439.01 from the MVP to the Elementary General Activity. To approve the following appropriations and modifications, I to amend resources accordingly. That's the increase to the food service for $90,000, increase the Title I for $1,352.80. To approve the 5-year forecast to be submitted to the Ohio Department of Education by May 31st. And to approve the following bond and note interest payments due June 1st. Series 1999 general obligation bond of $26,197.34. Series 2002 classroom facilities improvement bond of $10,395. And Series 2010 House Bill 264 energy conservation bond for $8,336. At this time, I just need a motion to approve the April of 2022 financial reports and other financial items.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. Move on to the personnel section. Need to accept the following resignations for Jillian Bergenreiter and Miranda Kelly. We need to hire new teaching employees, Evan Kirshner for district substitute teacher and Nicole Wilson for Evergreen High School science teacher. We need to offer a 1-year teaching contract to Andrew Howell, Natalie Miller, Sharon Lipinski, Diane Pickering, Adrian Lumbreezer, and Hannah Vaughn. A 2-year teaching contract to Shane Berkman, Abby Pennington, Danielle Urbanski, Heather Christensen, Jessica Root, Elizabeth Wolitzer, Christy Hennessy, Luke Rosen, and Tori Wright. And continuing teaching contracts to Nicole Brock and Rob Stearman. A 1-year limited contract for district employees for Betty Beaver, assistant treasurer, Jennifer Conrad, director of communications, and Tess Sutter, a 1-on-1 nurse with initial salary of $32,625. A 2-year limited contract for district employee Jeff Abrams, bus mechanic, as well as a 2-year limited contract for classified employees Bethany Boucher, she is an 8, and Samantha Cole as an 8. Continuing contract for classified employees Lindsay Abram, bus driver and cook, Brian Cooney, custodian. To offer a 2-year administrative contract effective August 1st, up to 10 days transition for DM Wright for Dylan Hendricks, athletic director at an initial salary of $55,000, and to offer a 3-year administrative contract effective August 1st of 2022 to Brett Miller, maintenance director. We need to also approve the following supplemental contracts and volunteers for 22-23. You'll see a list there. These all include our sports related supplemental contracts. We need to approve district supplemental contracts for 22-23. And these all are the supplemental contracts that are per building. So, and teaching staff. Thank you guys for reading all of these to you. To approve on the additional and extended days for Sharon Lipinski, the elementary guidance of 5 days, Amanda Brame, middle school guidance for 10 days, Adrian Lumbrizer, high school guidance for 15 days. And to approve teachers for summer school instruction, Alexandria Fritsch, Patricia Harnett, Aaron Schmidt, Amber Hansel, Cynthia Plotchik, Melanie Yoder, Allison Hartnett, Jessica Root, Donald Johnson. To approve the classified and certified substitutes list provided and maintained by the Northwest Ohio Educational Service Center throughout the 22-23 school year. And to approve the substitute list and teacher certified substitute reasonable assurance employment list for the school year 22-23. At this time, I just need a motion to approve the above listed personnel positions.
So moved. Support.
Any questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. We'll move on to other business. I need a motion to approve the granting of high school graduation diplomas to the members of the class of 2022 on May 22nd of 2022, pending their successful completion of all graduation requirements as determined by the high school principal. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the following overnight trip for the Evergreen girls basketball team to participate in the Queen of Palms Holiday Basketball Tournament at Evangelical Christian School in Fort Myers, Florida. The team will be competing against teams from across the country. Trip departure will be on December 26th of 2022, and the team plans to return on December 31st of 2022. Coach Simbolan and the JV and freshman coaches will chaperone the trip along with players' parents. Team members will fly or ride with the parent drivers to Florida. Please note the estimated cost for the trip is $8,000 and will be paid using funds raised by the Evergreen girls basketball team as part of their fundraising efforts.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Becker? Yes. Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. This time we need a motion to set the cost of preschool tuition at $900 for the 22-23 school year. 21-22 was a fee of $720 and provide a discounted cost of $855 for families utilizing a one-time payment.
So.
Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we need a motion to authorize the treasurer, Brian Carroll, to advertise for bids and set the day and time for bid opening as this relates to the resurfacing of parking lots and any other related work associated with the project. Questions or discussion?
This is money we have set aside for a long period of time in order to do expected maintenance, correct?
Correct. Yes, this will be paid out of the permanent improvement fund.
It can't be moved to any other spot, can't be moved back to the general fund, it's just for parking
Correct.
or for permanent improvements.
Permanent improvements throughout the district. Okay.
If I understand right, we made a separate account where we pulled out actually asphalt project, correct? That we planned maybe 3 or 4 years ago, right before you came?
I think this is still within that permanent improvement.
Okay. And this is just asking for bids. So if we get bids come in and they're high and we can't do it, we don't have to move on with the project. So this is just telling them, go ahead and start looking. And then once he gets them in, he'll let us know. And if, I mean, but if you look at some of the spots, the elementary, the high school out here, there's some bad spots we need to do, but
Yeah, this is just permission to seek bids, and then if we have them in time at the next meeting, I would present this.
okay. Right, any further discussion or questions? Right, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we need a motion to approve a special meeting for the Evergreen Board of Education on Monday, June 27th at 4 p.m. for the purpose of a campus tour. The regular meeting of the Evergreen Board of Education will be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, the 27th of 2022.
So moved. Or
Questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Beckett? Yes. Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keever?
Yes, motion carried. All right, at this time, Mr. Simola, would you like to take over discussion and information?
Sure, informationally, just to get on the record, Mr. Brady Roofer will be transferring from middle school principal to high school principal for the next school year. Mrs. Schmidlin, currently, her current title is our special ed coordinator. We are changing that title to student services director to more accurately reflect her position, what she does for the district. Ms. Jessica Root will be transferring from middle school intervention specialist to the elementary. Mrs. Caitlin Adamzak is moving from grade 3 to grade 2, and Mrs. Kelly Carmine from grade 2 to grade 3. So I wanted to give an update on the locker room renovation expansion. We're excited the project is near completion, and our athletes will have some of the nicest facilities in Northwest Ohio. Unfortunately, the project is no longer scheduled to be completed the last week of May due to a plumbing issue. Everything except lockers in phase 2 is scheduled to be completed by June 10th. Supply chain issues have caused the lockers for phase 2 to be pushed back until July 5th. Based on that unexpected change, we are going to have to reschedule our community open house so that everyone can come in and see the finished product. We're going to move that from June to August before the start of the school year, so the community can come in and tour the facility. Questions on either the transfers or the locker room? Following up from our special meeting last month, the board subcommittee met on May 4th to review the proposed drug policy and address concerns raised at the forum. It was held on April 13th, and at this point, Mrs. Keeper, we are waiting for direction on how you would like us to proceed.
Okay, so during our meeting, we went over all of the notes we took and notes that people at the forum shared with us. Trying to grasp where we look at, we had a problem that was pointed out to us with students that are late arrivals, early dismissals, 4-county, homeschool, those students are never getting picked. So we were trying to figure out how to do that. It was tough. We couldn't find good answers. An idea was brought up to us about a club called Drug Free of America. This is how 4-county has this club. It looks like a very, if I understand right, Mr. Curtis, can you come out here? The drug testing and everything is paid for by the Drug Free Clubs of America. So there's no fee to parents.
I admit I don't know how
Okay.
it's funded mechanism.
Okay. So I asked them, but it was kind of close to get, maybe is he the superintendent out there at 4-county or is he the principal?
He would be their equivalent of a building practice, they call him a director, but.
Okay. To come and present to us kind of how he works the program. It would basically be students or parents will consent for students to be part of this club. They have a private drug testing. The results never come to the school. The results never go to the parents. What happens is if their tests are negative, they will get basically like a little ID card that says they've passed and they can be part of this club. So that leaves our hands off of any of the drug testing results or anything like that. They are also drug tested multiple times in this program. It's not just a once you're in one, that's it. No, there is random testing for these students. And they take care of the all the drug testing, the results. They would be the ones pulling the card. The other thing is, we've talked about how it empowers students to say no. I've got testing, it still gives them that. It gives the parents more of a hands-on with the situation. Parents have to consent to bring them in, to sign up for the club. So it answered a few of our questions, but the question we haven't looked at and don't know yet, we've got to talk to our lawyer, is can we say that the kids have to be part of this club to participate in our activities? So that we still kind of want to ask how we do that. But right now, with all the questions that we had from the forum, at this point, we're going to keep the drug policy we have right now in effect. Not vote on all that work we did and look into, if we can get him here next month even, if you want to talk to him and see if we can get him here to present to the rest of the board, look at this, and then we can continue discussion from here. So I think right now for next year, we roll with the drug testing we have right now in place. And we look at this a little farther. Maybe we can have it by coming back from Christmas break, something like that. But right now, we just need to do some more research. There's a lot of questions that we couldn't find good answers to in that meeting. Don, do you have anything?
It's discouraging, quite honestly. The deeper we dig into this, the more complicated it gets. The more difficult it is to put a fair and effective program in place. It's just, every time we think we make progress, it's one step forward, two steps back, and it's rather frustrating that we're not making progress, but I'm not sure how to make any more progress from where we're at. I'd be more than happy to cede my spot on the committee to someone else if they have some good ideas, because I'm plumb out. So,
And I would say, I would thank you both and everyone else who's been involved in this. And again, I mean, it's a big help. I mean, I think the community obviously gave some great feedback and it's some thoughts that we hadn't considered. And, I appreciate all the work you do in trying to get something that works right.
Yeah, if we can try to get that. Sent to us, next meeting.
the other thing is, the more complicated this gets, the more we need to have our attorneys look at it too.
Exactly.
And it's getting more complicated all the time, so it's not an easy cut and dry.
Everything, yeah. That's all I have.
Last item on the agenda was the levy renewal. The district's 1/4% income tax renewal failed by 88 votes here in this May election. The overall margin was 802 to 714. Fulton County voters voted in favor of the levy, while Lucas County voters went against it. This 1/4% income tax levy will expire in December of 2022. In order to continue to provide the district's for the district's general fund, the renewal levy will be placed on the November ballot. And this is a traditional tax-based levy and does not tax Social Security. So the funds are important to the district. We're going to need to put it back up on the ballot in November for approval.
What are the rules about committees on like a levy committee? I know in the past they have done that. I don't know that any of us are allowed to do that, if that's something we have to talk to parent groups or how we do that.
We do need a levy committee to help facilitate that process. District employees are not allowed to be in charge of that or do it during school hours. And there have been some debate as to what school hours are for superintendent and treasurer. So that's something we will look at the specifics of. But I believe we'll need to bring back to the board to get approval to place it on the November ballot.
Need to find out what we gotta do to get committees up by the next meeting.
Definitely.
So you said right now, just going back to that 5-year forecast, you said this year we have the deficit spending of around $484,000. Without that levy, do we have any idea of what we would look like?
In 2 years, fiscal year 24, without that levy, we will be deficit almost round up to $1.5 million. So there are 2 levies, this 1/4% that Mr. Smoller just talked about, and then there is a 0.5% that will expire at the end of 24. Those combined income tax levies will make this deficit grow very quickly. As you can see, we will be about 1.5 million deficit. That goes to 2.2 million and then 3.7 million without these income
tax levies. So these are crucial for Evergreen.
And the general fund is where we pay for things like our teacher and staff salaries, technology equipment, curriculum upgrades, our utilities,
Correct. Our,
keeping the school running.
exactly.
This one's a half. Quarter, and we lowered this, last year?
This was only lowered in 2017.
The last two levies that have been renewed, we have requested them to be lowered 0.25% each. So the last two levies that went in, I don't know if it's unprecedented, but I think it's pretty unusual for schools to decrease the amount of money that they get voluntarily. And when we can get back, we've done our best to try to get back. But we do need this 0.25% in order to keep operating.
Any further discussion or questions, comments? Anything from Mr. Carroll? No? Okay. All right, we'll continue on to Mrs. Stringheim.
Good evening. One more Monday left to this school year. We have a lot of things happening, but to recap things that have happened recently at the elementary school, the choir concert was April 28th. And of course, Mr. Torrance always brings out the most talent in our students, and he's a phenomenal teacher and he just has a lot of energy that he gives to the program. So it was well attended and the performance was outstanding. Of course, our MVP group, our parent group, they did another amazing job of making our staff feel appreciated for Staff Appreciation Week. We had breakfast, snacks, a raffle where every staff member received a gift that our parents donated. And it's something that everybody looks forward to because as the day goes on, the big ultimate prize, like the further you stay in the raffle, the bigger the prize that you get. So everybody is watching to see who's going to win the big prize at the end. We had Right to Read Week last week. Our second grade team put together a camp Evergreen theme. And we had a scavenger hunt. We had a visit from Smokey the Bear. We had guest readers, a picnic lunch, and a camp theme movie at the end of the week. So that will be our theme for next school year. If you haven't had the chance to go through the elementary school, it's decorated with all kinds of evergreen and camping theme, and the second grade team did an outstanding job. Tori Wright and Amber Doble have put together our yearbook for this year. It is in, and we were able to have our Life Touch representative put together a special memorial page for our two students that were tragically killed in a car accident. And either Tori and Amber will be inserting that into the yearbook of every yearbook that was ordered, or if time gets away from them, then they might just give that to each student to tear off the sticky label and put it into their yearbook. So that was very nice that Life Touch was able to do that for us at such short notice. We have field day coming up on Friday, May 20th, and this is an all-day event. It's going to happen rain or shine, so fingers crossed that we have very good weather for that. Nicole Ziegler has put together, once again, a great program for our students to enjoy. And we have lots of parent volunteers that are going to be coming that day. Students will be enjoying a sack lunch, and it's just going to be a fun day for everyone. So if you're out and about, if you'd like to stop over, you can check that out. Kindergarten awards are going to be tomorrow at 1:45. And this is a great opportunity for parents to see the accomplishments of their kindergarten students. It's always bittersweet to see our little ones, graduating from kindergarten and moving on to first grade. So another great event that's happening tomorrow. Our preschool, kindergarten, and kinderstart students, their last day of school will be Friday. And then following week, the teachers will be doing kindergarten screening for all the new students that are going to be coming in to kindergarten for the next school year. The third and fourth grade awards, we have pinpointed that time and date. It will be May 25th at 1:30 in the elementary gym. And we will be giving out awards such as our top AR reader, honor roll, students that have stayed on the A team for the entire school year. And it's again, it's a great opportunity to showcase all the hard work that our students do. Parents, families, guests are all welcome to attend that event. Our fifth grade awards, the fifth grade team is putting together a program to honor our fifth graders as their last year at Evergreen. And then our MVP also pays for a portion of their field trip to Greenfield Village, so that they get a really great send off. They get t-shirts from MVP as well. So our fifth graders feel very special, and we're very proud of them before they move on to the middle school. But the fifth grade program, it will be May 26th at 9 a.m. And then on the last day of school for grades 1 through 5, we will be dismissing at 1:40, and we will be doing a final wave to our fifth graders as they walk through the hallway. Everybody lines the hallway. We invite families again. They'd like to show up at 1:40. We will be giving everybody a final wave, and I'll be giving my very final wave because I'll be on my way to retirement. So that's all I have at this time. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rupert.
All right, good evening. The first thing I want to recognize is May 2nd to the 6th was Teacher Appreciation Week. I just want to thank all the middle school teachers. They make my life a whole lot easier. They do an awesome job. So thank you to them. I also want to thank Dr. Swineford. I know Mrs. Conrad helped 4-H Extension Office. On May 4th, our 8th graders participated in a real money simulation. So I think some of the 8th graders' eyes were opened up to the cost of cell phones, TV, that sort of stuff. So that was a great opportunity. On May 10th, we had 23 students inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. I want to thank Melanie Yoder and Jenny Burkholder. They put a ton of time into that organization. They do a lot of amazing things throughout the year. The program went wonderfully, so thank you to them. I have the list of dates coming up in the middle school. The one I want to highlight is tomorrow morning, our 6th graders leave for camp. So they'll be there Tuesday through Friday. They will be coming back each day. And also the week of May 30th, we will be mailing home grade cards to every student. If they earn honor roll, their gift will be in there for earning that. Stepping over to high school, I guess I'll recognize Nicole Wilson. We're excited to have her on board as the high school chemistry teacher. And then also Dylan Hendricks is excited. He was going to come, but they have a baseball game tonight, so he's already on movement and has met with Mr. South. So excited to have those two on the team. And that is it, Mr. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Rupert. Mr. Curtis.
Good evening, everybody. Busy time of year, obviously, the high school. We had our academic awards banquet last Friday. Recognized lots of different kids for lots of different great, amazing reasons. We did have, we've estimated that our senior class, we have 109 students graduating here. Those 109 students have accumulated approximately $3 million in scholarship offers. And those are strictly from students who have reported. So pretty amazing number. A couple of kids I'd like to recognize. Austin Good and Wyatt Damaski are two graduating seniors who have formally enlisted. Austin Good is formally enlisted in the United States Army, and Wyatt Damaski is formally enlisted in the United States Air Force. So huge thank you and congratulations to both of those two for making that commitment. We obviously have graduation coming up here this Sunday on the 22nd, starts at 2 o'clock in the gym. I know this will be the first year and last few that we're not the ticketing garbage, any of that good stuff. So we have had lots of questions about, how many people am I allowed to bring? We are an open house, so the more the merrier. There's no ticketing involved. There should be more than enough room to be able to seat everybody. So doors will open for graduation this Sunday at noon. So come on in and celebrate with our outgoing senior class. We're really looking forward to it. We do have graduation rehearsal scheduled for this Friday. Sheriff Miller, I believe, is scheduled to speak briefly with graduates, talk about good decisions. Yeah, we are going to do graduation rehearsal and then follow that up with a senior picnic. Huge thank you to Rosie Boger, who's coordinated volunteers. Rosie had kind of led the group for after prom last year. They had some remaining dollars left over to spend, and one of the many things that they had chosen to do was to sponsor this senior picnic. So Rosie's been coordinating with lots of different families. They're going to cook out hot chicken sandwiches, lots of comfort food and some things like that. So it should be a good opportunity, I think, for kids here this Friday. Let's see. We have prom, of course, was a couple of weeks ago. A huge thank you to Katie Pierce and Mary Desmond, our prom and junior class advisors. We sold 203 tickets to prom from at least in my time here. It's the most tickets we have ever sold to prom. We had 197 students that were formally in attendance. So had a great turnout to prom. It was the first time that we've shifted in a good couple of years. We went to Buckland and Delta. They had cornhole boards set up outside for some kids. It was kind of neat to be able to flex in and out for some kids just aren't get on the dance floor, cut a rug kind of kids. And we had lots of kids that went outside and enjoyed the time outside playing cornhole too. So it was a really neat opportunity. We had a huge thank you to Darcy Feedback, who helped coordinate this year's after prom group. So we had tons of parents that were willing to participate. Darcy, wrangled all of them in through various fundraising efforts that they organized over the course of the year. We had parents in here bright and early that particular Saturday at prom, setting up building, setting up all kinds of activities for kids in the afternoon for the evening hours, and they did a great job. We had AP testing came to a close. We had approximately 35 students, I believe, took approximately 60 different AP exams since the addition of AP Government and the AP Computer Science that we began last year. I believe this is one of the higher numbers that we've had in the recent past of students taking AP exams. So wish them all good luck. Hopefully, typically around the beginning of July, we'll get results, and hopefully we get some positive results. So this super interested, I think, in the outcome. This will be the first year shifting to a traditional schedule. As you know, in the past, some of the holdup in being able to offer additional AP courses was the challenge in being able to fit it all into a semester, that second semester class. So our AP teachers have had kids all year long. We've been able to extend the classroom and provide additional opportunities for kids to master that content. So we're looking forward to results here in July. Last, but certainly not least, we had our final nomination of our Viking Virtues Student of the Month. This cycle was focusing on students who displayed empathy in and around the building. So a huge congratulations to our grade level representatives. RJ Shunk represented the senior class. Lucy Nichols represented the junior class. Rebecca Van Warmer, the sophomore class, and Annabelle Avac, the freshman class. So all of those kids actually received their Chick-fil-A reward along with their nominating teachers today. So really neat opportunity. I think empathy is one of my most favorite cycles. I think it's really cool stories of kids doing great things for others in their own. So it's super cool to be able to see those stories. So, does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Ms. Schmidlin.
Good evening. Want to give an update on some revised rules for preschool coming into next year. The state is pushing more toward a dual license teacher in each classroom or general education licensure. Currently, we operate in a classroom. It's called an integrated classroom, and it is operated by 2 intervention specialists. We have 2 classrooms, 1 intervention specialist in each. There is a grandfather clause for that, where we're able to continue with that next year, but it really is limiting the number of students that we can serve. So going into preschool next year, we are looking to expand one of our classrooms to a co-taught classroom, which will allow us to serve more children. So continuing with that intervention specialist to serve our students with disabilities, and a general education teacher to oversee the whole classroom. So the school age services are operated like that. Obviously, we have co-teaching at all grade levels. I feel like preschool is following suit with that. So we're looking to make some adjustments to our program next year in preschool. Also, I wanted to share that on March 31st, preschool had a family engagement event called Donuts for Dads. Great turnout. There was a nice craft that the students built with their dad, made lots of noise in our elementary building, but it was a lot of fun. Lots of dads were there participating. And also on May 5th, we had muffins for moms. They did some cute activities with their moms, and I'd like to thank MVP for their funding for those events. I also, if you have my update, I did share some information going into next year as far as special education services. We have approximately 130 students that receive classroom-based services for academic needs throughout the district. Our preschool going into next year, we have approximately 25 students receiving services with a total of 38 or 32 that we're able to serve. So related services are approximately 75 students preschool through grade 12 that receive speech, 10 that receive physical therapy, 33 for occupational therapy, and then 2 students that receive vision therapy. So breakdown of our services for next year. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Mr. Samoa.
Just 2 items to add. We're in the process of filling vacant administrative and teaching positions. Middle school principal interviews will take place next week. And then we're in the process of filling a preschool teaching position and a middle school English language arts. So late in the year to be filling, but we have a plan. We need to get everything filled for next year. And the last item, as we conclude this school year, I want to thank the Board of Education, administrators, teachers, and staff for your dedication and all of your hard work for our students to make this school year a success. We continue to provide our families with an outstanding education, and it is our mission to continue to improve and deliver excellence in all that we do. Next step, we'll be revising the district strategic plan in the next few months to navigate us through the next 3 years. That cycle has come to an end, and we are in the process of the revisions, and we'll be sharing with you the direction we need to head based on the surveys and information we get. Questions?
Any board members with questions or concerns? Okay. At this time, I need a motion for members of the Evergreen Local Board of Education, superintendent, treasurer, and invited guests to go into executive session for the following reasons: to consider the employment of public employees. Roll call.
Mr. Beckwith? Yes. Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. There will be no action after this executive session. So at this time, any students who have any papers for Mr. Blanchard can get up to Mr. Curtis.